A new year usually comes with a good amount of mixed emotions. For some, it's easy to pinpoint what's working for them and what's not, and they get into action mode. But for many, the start of the new year can fill them with an underlying sense of unease and dread. And for those people, it can be hard to pinpoint exactly why they are feeling out of sorts and do anything about it. If you're like, yes, that's me. And if you're anything like me, you want to figure out what needs to change so you can do something about it. And you could use a bit of guidance along the way. As a designer, my way to solving any type of problem or challenge is by using design thinking tools. And a good old brainstorm is always my first tool or my first step to get the ideas flowing. Especially when a problem seems quite overwhelming at first, I want to break it down into smaller chunks or subproblems I can start solving for. There's a whole range of different ways and different tools to brainstorm, but I'll be sharing the ones you can do by yourself at home. Now, I can imagine that if you are watching this video, you are feeling quite off track with where you're at right now in your life. Maybe you feel a little frustrated with an imbalance between your work and personal life and, as a result, often feel exhausted. You're behind on everything and your to-do list is never ending. You feel you are constantly in a hurry, which takes the joy and motivation out of your work and your personal activities. You are aware of all this is happening and want to come up with ideas how to change these things before you get burned out. So I am going to use this problem scenario to explain to you how to brainstorm by yourself. Even if this exact scenario doesn't apply to you, the brainstorm process I will go through will be applicable to solving any type of problem or challenge you might be experiencing. But I am going to use this scenario as an example. Okay, so first we will break down this scenario into subproblems. To get to the root of a problem, it helps to ask yourself why you feel a certain way. For this specific scenario, I could ask myself, why do I feel exhausted? There are too many things packed into my day every day, so when I get to the end, I only want to sleep. Why do I feel demotivated at work? I'm looking at and talking to a screen all day and I don't feel connected with my colleagues. Okay, what else? Why do I feel I'm in a hurry? Because I like to have some time for myself at the end of the day, but there is no end to all the tasks, so it doesn't happen. And one more. Why do I not feel like myself anymore? Because I have too little time and energy left to take good care of myself mentally and physically. Okay, so now that we have some clarity on the underlying problems, we can start brainstorming. I'll grab a couple of pieces of paper and write down on each of them, how might I? I start each sentence with this because it will make it easier for me to come into a solution state of mind. For the first problem, I'll write down, how might I simplify my day? I'll do the same for the other three. Now, set a timer for 5 minutes and try to come up with as many ideas as possible for your first how might I question. When you're done, continue with the other ones. If 5 minutes is not enough, take some more time, okay? When you feel like you have come up with some exciting ideas, try to pick out the things that get you most excited and turn these into actionable steps. You can write them down in a list and make sure you pick at least 4 things. I always feel it helps to pick out the ideas that make me excited because it will make it easier to implement into my day and stick to them. Now, as a last step, make them as important as possible by putting them on your calendar. Could also be your work calendar. Make it clear to yourself and your loved ones that they are non-negotiable and from now on a priority. That's it. I hope it's been helpful. If you have any questions, please drop them below. I'll be happy to help. And for now, I want to thank you for spending your time with me here today. And I really hope you'll be back. Bye for now.